The friend tells you the good news, the promotion, the house, the thing you wanted arriving in someone else's hands. And this time, something different happens. The old sourness rises, and you let it pass through you like weather. You look at them, and you mean it. You are glad, truly, simply glad. And in that small moment, you have done the hardest thing a person can do. You have wished another well with nothing in it for you. The world will call this softness. The world is wrong. This is the rarest strength there is, and almost no one has it.
We have been taught to mistake kindness for weakness. We think it is the trait of those with no teeth, the ones who give because they cannot take. So we hide our kindness the way other men hide their envy, afraid that to be gentle is to be seen as small. But look closely at who is actually kind, and the picture turns over. The genuinely kind are almost never the weak. They are the ones with something to spare, the ones who are not afraid. Cruelty is cheap. Anyone, on any bad day, can manage it. Kindness costs something every time. That is exactly why it is a virtue, and exactly why so few will pay it.
But kindness has a counterfeit, and you must learn to tell them apart. The counterfeit is niceness, and niceness is not a virtue. It is a transaction. The nice man smiles because he needs you to like him. He gives so that you will owe him. He cannot say no because no costs him your approval. Watch him, and you will see he is not generous. He is afraid. His kindness has a hook in it, and the hook is always pointed back at himself. Real kindness asks for nothing in return. That is the whole test. The nice man performs goodness for an audience. The kind man does it when no one is watching, for no reward, and would be embarrassed to be caught.
And here is the strange thing the envious essay told you. Turn the right way up. Envy is a mirror that shows you the desire you would not admit. Kindness is a mirror too, but it shows you who you have become. You cannot fake it for long. Under pressure, under exhaustion, the mask slips, and what is underneath is simply what you have practiced. The man who has practiced resentment becomes cruel when he is tired. The man who has practiced resentment becomes cruel when he is tired. You are not your good intentions. You are your reflexes. And your reflexes are only the sum of 1,000 small choices you thought no one was counting.
The oldest story of envy ends in a field, with one brother standing over another. But there is an older story still about brothers and the choice that follows. A boy is favored, and his brothers cannot bear it. They do not kill him, though they mean to. They sell him. They tell their father he is dead, and the boy is carried into a far country, into slavery, into prison. Years pass. The boy rises. He becomes the second most powerful man in the world. And one day the famine drives his brothers to his door, not knowing him, to beg for bread from the one they threw away. He holds every weapon. He owes them nothing but ruin. And he weeps, and he feeds them, and he says, "You meant it for harm, but I will not answer harm with harm." That is the whole of the virtue in a single sentence.
There is a man hunting you. This happens to everyone, eventually. Someone who cannot forgive you for being what you are, who wants you gone. In the old account, a king grows mad with envy of a young soldier and chases him across the wilderness with an army, year after year, to kill him. And one night the young man finds the king asleep, alone, undefended. His own men whisper, "This is the day. End it. He would end you." And the young man stands over the one who hunts him, and he cuts a corner from the king's robe and lets him live, not because he is weak, He had the knife. He had the right. He spared him because he understood something the king never would. To answer cruelty with cruelty is to let your enemy choose who you become. Kindness is the one move he cannot predict and cannot survive.
Now hear the part the gentle are too modest to say out loud. Kindness is not only good, it is powerful. There is no defense against it. Cruelty arms your enemies and feeds their story of you. But meet an attack with unexpected grace, and you take their weapon out of their hand. The man who hates you needs you to hate him back. It completes him. Refuse, and you leave him fighting the air. The most feared figures in history were not the cruel ones. They are forgotten or despised. The ones who endured were those who held the power to destroy and chose mercy instead. We do not follow men because we fear them. Fear ends the moment they turn their backs. We follow the ones who could have harmed us and did not.
All the receives full kindness becomes the cure for the sin we named before. Envy is the wish that another had less. Kindness is the trained reflex to wish that another had more. You cannot hold both at once. They cannot share a heart. Every time you genuinely rejoice in someone else's good, you are starving the sourness of the only thing it eats. The envious man lives in a world where every gift to another is a theft from him. The kind man lives in a world that is quietly, constantly adding. Same world. Same news of a friend's good fortune. One of them is in hell, and one of them is free. The only difference between them is which reflex they fed.
So, how do you feed the right one? Not with feeling. Feeling is unreliable. You will not always feel kind. On the hard days, you will feel the opposite. You build it the way you build anything that lasts, by acting before you feel it. You wish the rival well through your teeth until one day the teeth unclench. You give the credit away when you ache to keep it. You say the warm, true thing about the person who got what you wanted. None of it will feel sincere at first. Do it anyway. Sincerity is not the price of admission. It is the reward at the end. Act kind long enough, and one morning you will notice the resentment is simply gone, and you will not be able to remember deciding to be free.
Underneath the cruelty of the world is a single false belief that there is not enough money, not enough love, not enough room at the top. And if there is not enough, then your good is my loss, and we are at war. This is the lie that feeds every sin. Scarcity. But the kind have caught the world in its lie. The one thing you can give endlessly, that costs you nothing and runs out never, is goodwill. Praise does not deplete. Encouragement does not run dry. A man who has decided there is enough becomes generous, not because he is rich, but because he has stopped believing the war is real. And the strange thing is, the world tends to give back to the one who has stopped fighting it.
There are all levels to this, and it is worth knowing where you stand. The lowest kindness is the one you are dragged into, given grudgingly when you cannot escape it. A step up is to give gladly, but less than you could. Higher still is to give before you are asked, so the other never has to lower himself to ask. Higher than that is to give without knowing who receives, and to receive without knowing who gave. Kindness with no debt attached, no name on it, nothing owed. And the highest kindness of all is not the gift, it is the lift. To help a man to his own feet, so completely that he never needs your help again, that is the summit. Not to be needed forever, but to give so well that you make yourself unnecessary.
Order. Notice what sits at the top of that ladder. The kindness no one sees. This is the exact opposite of the envious man, who must always be seen and ranked. The highest good is done in the dark on purpose. The anonymous gift, the defense of someone's name in a room they will never know about. The favor done in a way that lets the other believe he did it himself. The world will not applaud this. That is the point. The moment kindness needs an audience, it has quietly become niceness again, the hook turned back toward the self. Learn to do good and let it disappear behind you without a backward glance. What you do when there is nothing in it for you, that, and only that, is who you are.
Do not let anyone sell you a kindness that costs nothing, the warm word that risks nothing, the charity you would not miss. These are pleasant, but they are not yet the virtue. Kindness becomes real at the exact point it begins to hurt. When you forgive the debt you were owed, when you give the opportunity to someone better than you, when you are kind to the person who can do nothing for you and never will, when you are gentle on the day, you have every reason not to be. That is the threshold. Below it, you are merely comfortable. Above it, you are free. The measure of your kindness is not how much you give. It is how much it cost you to give it.
And so it comes down, as everything does, to practice. You will not become kind by admiring kindness. No one was ever made gentle by an essay. You become it the way the envious man became bitter. One small unwatched choice at a time, repeated until it is no longer a choice but a self. Tomorrow, someone will get the thing you wanted. Wish them well, out loud, and mean half of it. Someone will wrong you and hand you the right to wound them back. Set the knife down. Someone will need a kindness that earns you nothing. Pay it and tell no one. Do this on the days it is easy, so that it holds on the days it is not. This is the whole work. There is no shortcut, and there was never meant to be one.
We of the 7 cures, this is the first and the simplest and the hardest. It asks for no belief, no doctrine, no grand transformation. It asks only that the next time another's good fortune reaches you, you choose, against your own grain, to be glad. Do that enough times, and the man who started in envy will not recognize himself, and will not want to. But there is a deeper sickness still beneath the rest. A swelling of the self that poisons everything it touches. Before a man can be kind, or fair, or free, he must first do the one thing the proud can never do. He must become small enough to see anyone else at all. That is the next cure. We will name it, and we will master it. Until then, be glad for someone today. It is the most powerful thing you will do all year.